We are back live at your Bolo Punch Boxing Hour, brought to you by your girl Insurance. www.bolopunchboxinghour.com, streaming to you live as always on Ustream.tv. Timmy, the producer, Patterson, how can they get in touch with us and be part of the show this evening?
Hit us up on the hotline, 219. Hit us up on the hotline, 219-743-9743.
Surround sound.
Yahoo Instant Messenger is up and running. Keyword Bolo Punch Boxing Hour. Or the best way to hit us up is on Ustream.tv via the message board there.
You sound so enthused. The message board over there.
Sorry.
Yeah. Saturday Night Athletic.
Athletic supporter.
Rewind. Hey, Saturday night, Atlantic City, New Jersey, light heavyweight action. Bernard, the Executioner Hopkins, wins a 12-round unanimous decision, blowout decision over Kelly the Ghost Pavlik. 119-106, 118-108, and 117-109. Hopkins moving on up to 49-5-1 with 32 knockouts. Kelly Pavlik moving on down. The most recent O to go, 34-1 with 30 big wins coming by way of knockout. 43 years old is Hopkins.
And Pavlik's 26. So Pavlik's in his prime, and
Hopkins is absolute prime.
Hopkins is maybe 1 or 2 fights away from retiring. He should have retired. He talked about retiring 2 years ago.
Yeah, he's damn near twice Pavlik's age.
And
so
both these guys got big fights in the future. Even though Hopkins get blown out in this one, basically, or not. Pavlik gets blown out.
Pavlik still has huge fights.
Yeah,
he's got a fight against Marco Antonio Rubio. That's going to be his mandatory. Who I believe even fought that same night. I watched some of that. I watched a little bit of that. I found a completely illegal feat of that, and I'm not ashamed to say it. And I'm not going to spend $55.
Yeah, the Yahoo Answers is great.
Yahoo Answers, we love you. We love the hell out of you because you showed me how to go ahead and watch it for free. And I will not be giving that website out here on the show, but it does rhyme with. No, I won't do that. So all eyes will be on Joe Calzaghe fighting Roy Jones when it comes up in the next several weeks.
Just one of the only O's not to go.
Yeah, Calzaghe's easily. Well, I mean, you got him, you got Andre Berto, you got a handful of fighters that are still undefeated. You got a lot of guys with one loss, though. A lot of guys with
Andre Dawson.
Chad Dawson.
Chad Dawson.
Gotta love those cubbies.
We brought the hawk in.
Andre Dawson. Gotta love that stuff. But, pretty much. It all gets summed up with, I'm worried as to what made Kelly Pavlik want to take that fight. Because all his trainers, as far as I'm reading, and the promoter, Bob Arum, did not want that fight to happen at all with Hopkins. What made him think that he could do that? At welter... at middle, he's got one of the best punches there is. I mean, he probably even hits harder than Edison Miranda, and Edison Miranda is a killer puncher.
Yeah.
Why would he want to move up to someone who's actually naturally bigger than him, who cut weight for a decade to make sure that he could be at middle?
Well, he didn't even. Hopkins just stays at whatever weight he's fighting at. You know, he doesn't move up and down in weight like a lot of fighters do. He stays at whatever his fight day, his weigh-in weight is. That's what he's at. He's always training to be in a fight, and he says he doesn't fluctuate in weight like most fighters do. He's always
not as much as other fighters do. He's not pulling Gotti. He's not pulling a Gotti, but he'll gain 10 pounds.
He says he usually stays within 5 pounds of what his workout weight is. You know, the day of the weigh-in, he's going to cut water weight a little bit.
That's insane.
But,
from what I understand, he's a running nut.
Yeah.
He does so much running. I mean, look at his body. I mean, it's sickening for a guy that old to be built like that.
Well, they talked about when he moved up to light heavy, he used the same trainer that Spinks did when he moved up to heavyweight.
Michael Spinks or Leon Spinks?
Michael Spinks.
Michael Spinks.
Because Michael, he tried to add everything in muscle, and it worked out good for him. So he did have, obviously he lost a couple fights at heavyweight.
Heavy, yeah.
But
he won the ones that mattered.
Yeah.
Against Larry Holmes, most definitely. He also beat Jerry Cooney.
Yeah, he won some big fights. So
he did.
He converted into a heavyweight pretty well.
He did very, very well. So that was good of Hopkins to do that. I had never heard that story, but
Yeah, it was on one of those, how HBO does the countdowns.
they love that stuff. They love that
And
stuff.
I'm wearing the, what do you call it? The De La Hoya and
The dream match.
yeah, the dream match fight against Pacquiao. Then that 24/7 actually starts this week.
Cannot wait. The Tebow's already primed and ready to go. And moving on down, featherweight action. Steve Luvano wins a 12-round unanimous decision over Billy Dibb. He retains a featherweight championship of the world, 117 to 111, 116 to 112, and 115 to 113. Luvano moves on up to 36-1-1 with 15 knockouts. Dibb moves on down, gets his first loss ever at 21-1 with 11 knockouts. Middleweight action, Marco Antonio Rubio, who is now in line to be the mandatory for Kelly the Ghost Pavlik, won a 12-round unanimous split decision over Enrique Ornelas. This was the title eliminator for Pavlik's belt. 115 to 113 twice for Rubio, and 115 to 113 once for Ornelas. 43-4-1 with 37 knockouts for Rubio, 28-5 with 18 knockouts for Ornelas.
Now, Pavlik's going to have to cut that weight real quick and try to get down and challenge him, or he's going to be fighting for an interim belt.
You better believe it, yes. Oh, man. I hate that whole interim regular super garbage.
Well, what happens is if a guy can't defend it, then it becomes an interim belt.
Yeah.
They award the interim championship to somebody, but they're not actually the real champion until they beat somebody.
I didn't understand it.
Well, I'm
I'm playing with
to other people what it is.
No, very true. Because it gets confusing, and you find yourself just wanting to close your ears to the whole thing. You don't even want to hear it. But I have no problem eating popcorn while we're on the air.
Well, it's very likely that could happen in this event.
Very much so.
Pavlik might have trouble getting back down real quick and having a defense after he just lost at a heavier weight.
It's not like he has to fight him tomorrow, though. He's got some months. He can get down in weight.
Yeah, but the problem is he hasn't defended his title in a little while because he moved up.
What was the dude's name that he did fight after Jermaine Taylor? I cannot even remember his name. He defended it once after the second Taylor fight, and I can't remember his name. It doesn't matter. Super middleweight action.
He beat Miranda.
No,
He knocked Miranda.
was before Jermaine Taylor.
Oh yeah, it was. It was.
I don't remember the guy's name. He was essentially a nobody, but he was the mandatory. Super middleweight action. Daniel Jacobs knockout in the first round over Tyrone Watson. Still undefeated, 11-0 with 10 knockouts is Jacobs. Watson moving on down to 7-2 with 3 knockouts. And Yuri Foreman, who's always got a story around him, blows out Vinroy Barrett. Vinroy, we remember Vinroy from The Contender. Well, he did nothing in this fight. 100-90. Yuri Foreman blasts him out of the water. Junior middleweight action. Foreman still undefeated at 26-0 with 8 knockouts. And Vinroy moving on down to 22-7 with 11 knockouts.
Yeah, the Vinroy actually looked like he might do something in that Contender series and ended up getting his loss there, and didn't look very good in this fight either.
Junior welterweight Danny Garcia, TKO victory in the 3rd round over Dion Nash. And Friday night in Hatillo, Puerto Rico, welterweight action, Irving Garcia won a 10-round unanimous decision over Chris Smith, 98-92 and 97-93. Garcia, 17-3-3 with 8 knockouts. And finally, Friday night in Miami, Florida, I believe is what that says.
Yeah, Miami.
Okay.
Sorry, I was
Junior featherweight action, Jorge La Cierva won a 12-round unanimous decision over Feder Viloria, 117-111 twice and 116-112. Also Thursday night, last night while we were going live in Tokyo, Japan, bantamweight action, Hozumi Hasegawa, TKO in the 2nd round over Alejandro Valdez, and featherweight action, Oscar Larios won a 12-round split decision over Takahiro Ao. He retains his featherweight belt, 115-111 and 114-112 for Larios, and 114-112 for Ao. So,
yeah, both those guys have been kind of hanging around at the top of their divisions for a little while now.
Yeah, but that was a split decision against Takahiro Io for Larios. He needs to be doing better than that against limited competition. So with that, let's go ahead and take our second break of the night. We'll be right back with all the fights that are going to be getting us through the week and then some. and then our Golden Leaf Fighter You Should Know, and we'll be on out of here. So, let's go ahead and take a break. This is your Bolo Punch Boxing Hour, brought to you by George Rogie Insurance, www.bolopunchboxinghour.com, streaming to you live on Ustream.tv.